Hello. Thank you. And especially big thank you for DSA to let me show this fantastic, wonderful advert, as Rebel Sparkle has mentioned before. So I'm just going to jump right into the run before we just jump right in because we got a kind of a long thing here. But we did meet the cutscene incentive, so I'm going to do my best to put the controller down after every level just to double check that I don't skip cutscenes because obviously as speedrunners we want to go really fast. So to not hit my triangle button, I'm going to have to put that down there. As well as this will add a little bit time to my estimate. So we should still be pretty close to 50 minutes now. So no world record runs already right off the bat because cutscenes killed that. But without further ado, here we go. Let's get a countdown here. We'll go 3, 2, 1, go. All right, hands up. I won't talk during cutscenes.
Well, my yellow fellow, it's time these M&Ms had a little R&R.
R&R? Is that a new candy? Are we being phased out?
We are going on vacation. Come on. One last thing before we arrivederci. Who did you leave in charge of the candy factory? Hello? It's what? They what? And what?
You're turning red.
Repeat after me. I did not leave the M&M's minis in charge of the candy factory. Has your chocolate melted? Have you gone completely nuts?
Well, the minis aren't that bad. All they need is a chance.
All you need is a brain donor. Get to the factory, pronto! There's a minis mutiny going on. They've stolen the formulas for all the M&M's candies. Stop those minis. Find those formulas. Go, go, go!
Go, yellow, go.
There goes my partner. There goes my career.
So if you weren't expecting some serious jokes and puns, we're in for a trip here, y'all. So yes, the whole premise of this game is to stop the M&M minis that we saw from destroying the factory. We're going to play as yellow the entire time, and we're just going to travel through a bunch of levels. However, the worst part of this game is well, I guess you could say worst part of this game. You'll see some serious jank throughout, but the worst part of the game is the first 3 levels are all driving stages. So there's a bunch of somewhat downtime in there. They're all about 2-ish, minute and a half long, give or take. So it's like 6 or 7 minutes. I can't fully remember of just driving stages here. But the big reason, again, we want to do the cutscenes is they are voiced all by the original voice actors. So we got Billy West, and then we also have J.K. Simmons, and then we will see the green M&M, which is by Kreese Summer. So again, all original voice actors. The reason I like playing games, especially like this a little bit, is when you have the original voice cast throughout the game, it kind of adds that little extra charm in there. Because the production value of this game definitely wins a lot of the cutscenes and getting them to do the voices and not necessarily the gameplay itself. I will dog on the gameplay a little bit. However, I truly can't because at the end of the day, they'd make anything way better than I could even come close to making. So the fact that they can still put something out. And I don't know the production time into this, but it's still not awful. So what we're going to end up seeing here after our driving stages is it's essentially going to be a Crash Bandicoot clone, and you'll see what I mean when it comes to our actual platforming stages here. So the premise of this is really, I just try to say, stay in the center of the stages. There is an invisible wall here to the left. You can sometimes just randomly die. So I'm going to talk about jank a little bit on and off throughout this game. There's going to be times where I'll die, and the game just wants me to lose. That's going to be the end of the story there. So I have done something, or I want to do something with this game. Every time I die, I want to donate $5. So if chat would like to help me keep up with that, or if someone wants to jump in with that as well, at the end of the run, we'll donate a little bit of money for charity for that. Or at the end of the day, which I've never done, so this could be the first time ever, if I don't die at all, I'm going to donate $100 to Make-A-Wish. Again, however, that has never happened even in any of my world record run of this. I have like 2 deaths. So I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm going to do my best. So that way you're not seeing me cheese but not trying to die enough to take away money from that. So we're going to do all that there. So again, we're in another car stage here. It's a little bit shorter. I almost just drove into the motorcycle guy there. You're going to see me bob and weave a few times. It's more in the next stage than this stage here. Sometimes you can go too fast in the car stages, and the enemy placement is just in the right spot, and you'll just die again because you were just too good for the game. So there's only really one spot in this level that gives me potentially problems here when I come up. And also get ready to hear that M&M mini cry, because I'm going to get 100 million boxes throughout. Boxes mean nothing but getting them, which gives you lives. So just like any game, 100 of whatever. So in this case, 100 minis will give us a free life. I think in my last practice run, I paid attention, I had like 65 lives, and there we go. That's a tight little churn. And you can see I'm just like glitching up the hill here, because the game can't process you actually going up. We do have to get this first power-up, believe it or not. We need a power-up to jump off this ramp to make it down. If we skip that power-up, you actually will just fall down into the cavern. And that is stage number 2 for the drive. We got one more stage here. This is played on a PS2. This is a PS1 game from 2001. I just learned, because I want to look up some stuff, some knowledge about this. This is actually released in Europe in 2002. I thought this might have been a NTSC exclusive, but it was not. That was played on PS1, so PS1 game. We are playing on a PS2 with fast disk speed, so that helps allow some of the load times, make that go a little bit faster there. I did not really learn about fast disk speed until I started honestly playing this game and another PS1 game that I speedrun, because I just didn't really have any idea it existed. I never had a PS2 growing up. I was more of a Nintendo guy for a little while. But here we have a giant cow that just decides to just destroy that motorcycle. And then this is another stage again. You see me going to bob and weave in certain spots, because that's going to slow me down just enough so I don't clip any of these guys here. Oh, that's Mango. So here's one of them right there. I just missed his front tire. It's hard to go. If I would have stayed on the left-hand lane, he's going to clip me coming across. Same thing with this guy. He's just trying to take me out. I don't know why a motorcycle game wants us to stop us from getting to the M&M factory, but apparently they just like destruction at the end of the day. So we're getting close. We're probably about 2/3 of the way down with the stage here, and we're already at 20 lives. So casually, this game is relatively tough, believe it or not. The first time I played through this, I game over it numerous times. The last few stages, the difficulty ramps up tremendously. So we're going to try to, well, we don't need to gather as many lives, but if you ever were to play this casually, if you like what you're seeing and we're like, I want to play M&M Cell Shock, which is probably 0 people out there, so I'm hopefully getting your Let's Play right now. But if you ever do, get as many lives as you can, because it will be really, really important. But this is the end of the stage here. When it leaves, I'm going to take my hand off the controller, and it should be cutscene. Here's the next one.
Here goes nothing.
Wait, little friend. Maybe it's time to ask who's the best candy for the job. Maybe this calls for the ringer, the Top Gun, the go-to guy. Nah, you're right. You go.
Wish me luck.
Miracles happen every single day. They do. We're dead.
All right. So that was the first thing. So all this game, again, is broken up into a series of like acts of 3, if you will. They're all called the same. 3 acts. The first 2 usually are regular stages, and the last one is a boss stage. Believe it or not, there are going to be a couple of skips in these games. The platforming stages, there are no skips in the actual stages here. Different mechanics that you can go through, but here we go. We see our introduction to our Crash Bandicoot. So we have the spin dash, or the spin, and that's really about it. So this is definitely more of a Crash 1 remake. I honestly couldn't tell you when Crash 2 and 3 came out. Crash 3, best game, but that's may not be a hot take. But anyways, we just have a spin. We don't have like the slide, nothing like that. Nothing really to make us go significantly faster outside of potentially some power-ups. Now, as you can see in the bottom right-hand side, I have a helmet. The helmet acts like an Aku Aku mask. I'm going to make this comparison to Crash Bandicoot because that's what that is. So we only get one. However, you cannot stack these helmets. You can only get one helmet. And when you take damage with a helmet, you still may die because the momentum in this game, we're going to see in a few stages, is very, very jank as well. Just like, again, 90% of this here. So if I were to get hit to, say, the left, I'm going to get launched to the left. So therefore, I could just get flown off the platform or wherever I'm at there. Same thing if I get hit backwards, I can get launched forward. However, there's no intended strats for me to kind of speed up that process here. Jumping over some chocolatey goop because M&Ms apparently can't jump in chocolate. That would insta-kill me even with the helmet. Moving forward there. And as you can see, this does have red and green crates. So our red crates are the bomb crates in this game, or what the TNT crates would be. It does have a 3-second timer when I jump on them. And the green crates are essentially the nitro crates. They say danger on them here, but they're nitro crates, and they just blow up and will kill you instantly. So we got what these look like to be little magnet guys. I don't know any of these enemies if they have names. I could not find anything like this. Couldn't find anything about bosses in this game either outside of Playing that. Can you please get out of my way? Oh, I got hit, and you can see I got jumped a little bit, but we're still good. First platforming stage done. That's generally the gist of this game here is just don't take a death. On the ground, you see little blue circles or checkpoints. If you die, you go back to the previous checkpoint. So deaths are somewhat punishing in like some of these games. Obviously, games out there where deaths aren't as punishing. There's no death warping, nothing along those lines. We're going to see, I think, two other power-ups in the stage. Yes. I can get the bouncy shoes here. I don't really need them, but we're going to get the spring. So we've already seen the spring technically on the car stage, but this is what the spring actually... Ooh, I took a hit. This will be interesting. I just don't usually take a hit there. So I should be fine anyways. There we go. Okay, that was a little sketchy. So there's our first checkpoint, so we're good probably regardless. We're going to see our first instance of speed shoes. That was interesting there. I'm just going to get this for safety. There's our, as we call in the community, the Michael Jackson robot. He's moonwalking back and forth. So we have two names for specific robots, and that is one of them throughout here. Some of these levels have checkpoints that are really close together. That was actually really cleaned up. That jump over that cylinder can be pretty tough because it just won't work. However, speed shoes, Sonic, I'm a Sonic speedrunners, like to go fast. Okay, let's go. So we're going to take a little checkpoint warp, not checkpoint warp, just a little secret warp here, kind of like, again, you'd have in some Crash Bandicoot games. Only time we do that, because then it just takes us to the end of the stage. So the only time we'll see that in the run, and that's number 2. And we're moving on to the final boss of this next act. Yeah, this is very much, I saw a comment in chat, this is very much asking your mom for Crash Bandicoot and her saying, we have Crash Bandicoot at home. I like that very much. So here's our first boss fight. This is the first skip of the game. I'm going to hopefully don't fall off the edge. There's also a high chance for the first death of the run as well. So when we get past here, we can actually jump to the end of the stage. The stage doesn't actually require you to beat the boss. So I'm going to inch, that should be fine, to the edge of the platform, hanging off just a little bit, and I run, jump all that. There we go. So we just skip the entire boss. So one of the first 2 skips of the game. Oh, okay, I pressed X. Oh, you know what? It's quick. I'm going to do it again. Radically, nothing happened there. We're going to play this again. So, yeah, my game crashed. I just restarted. Okay, yeah. We got to get our money's worth from this, folks. We donated for that, so let's just do it again. Should be really quick.
Yeah, just for those of you who blinked and missed it the first time.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Everyone was looking away. Nothing happened. I did say I would skip one. Normally it's the triangle button, and I pressed X and was like, oh, it's not going to click that time. And then it registered, and I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. Did it again. Let's go. 2 for 2. All right, now I'm taking my hand off. I'm holding it up. I'm going to hold it up after each level there. Fingers are off the buttons.
Whoa! Oh, no! It's Big Boss Cam!
Sir, I did a terrible thing. I left the minis in charge of the factory.
He delegated, the hallmark of a confident manager.
They're turning the whole place upside down.
A chance to review our emergency plans.
I don't know what to do. Please help me. Oh, please.
Today's manager can admit that he doesn't have all the answers.
I'm a big, huge, yellow goofball.
He's a big, huge, yellow goofball. So, hot enough for you?
All right, that was definitely worth going back and playing that boss stage. Very much so. All right, so we have a next one, and immediately taking my hand off of it. Favorite cutscene?
Oh, shoot.
I'll say this factory's full of them. Well, while you're shooting the chutes, I'll be in the green room mapping a new offensive strategy. Or hiding in a broom closet. Whatever.
Oh, I love that. The oh shoot pun. This is the next. These 2 stages are the worst in the entire game. They are awful. So we talked a little bit about momentum throughout stages. So this entire stage, next 2 stages, are on a giant conveyor belt. The conveyor belt, whichever way is going, will keep your momentum. So when I jump, my momentum gets taken back every single time. This spot's going to be a little tricky. I'm just going to wait for this guy to come out here. I've had some issues with that enemy there. So my momentum is really slow right now, and there's the first death of the game. That's unfortunate there. That usually doesn't happen. It kept a really, really slow momentum, and I couldn't get across that gap. So there's $5. So if chat or the audience wants to help me keep me up with 1 every time I die, which is, again, hopefully not a ton, can I please make these jumps here? So now I got really fast momentum, and we made it cleanly. So that's just the game wanting to be M&M shell-shocked. That's all it is. Different things happen in every single run. I'm waiting to have the old adage, oh, I've never seen that happen in a run before. It's probably going to happen. If it doesn't, I would be vastly, vastly surprised. So as we're going here, we're still going through. That enemy's not usually there, but I'm not going to say it. I've seen it maybe once before. This also has, here's our Jackie Chan enemy. This is the Jackie Chan enemy. And kick. We got him beforehand. We got to us there. So we're going to go through here. Let's just get off to the side. Okay, walk past that nitro crate there. And we got our helmet. We're making decent here. Get our enemy here. So now we're coming up on a checkpoint that can be super finicky. This ground right there where that enemy judge, that's a death plane. So if I touch the ground, I die. Come on. I can walk off the edge. There it is. I can watch it off, not actually touch the box and activate that checkpoint. So if you don't hear that noise or see the words, the checkpoint doesn't actually activate. However, right here, let's see if it doesn't happen. I can fall through that box. I have weird momentum. Can we make it across? And I just was apparently short there. So this section is the section I'm most worried about in the entire game. That second box, we can just go through it. So I'm going to see if I can show it off, unfortunately. Oh, we got it again. Okay. I was on the edge there. Oh, all right, nice. Whew. That is my least favorite section. Some of those boxes, you will just phase right through the bottom, and you just can't do anything about it. You made the perfect jump, and you just die there. Almost lost momentum there. And we hit this, and we're at the end of this stage. So I did hear a donation sound, so we have time for a donation.
Fantastic. We have 2 donations. We've got a $5 donation from Zero Kieran with no comments, but thank you so much for that donation. Do remember that if you want to put it towards a target, it doesn't change the price of your donation. You can just click that thing on the side. But someone who did put $25 towards beating the final boss of Akami without items, Hippinator, $25. Thank you so much. The comment reads, I had the pleasure of seeing some of this game before the run, and can state that it is definitely a game. Good luck on the run, KingRhodes.
Thank you, Hibbin. I appreciate it, bud. Okay, this is a little sketchy. We got it. Okay. You don't usually not have a helmet there, but we took an unfortunate death with the helmet as we went to get the first one, so I just skipped it. So we got through. Again, this oh shoot is just really unfortunate. The momentum is just so rough to handle. No matter how much you play this, even on these stages here, the momentum is not friendly. So we got through that. We're coming up on this part. So this guy's going to run away from us, and then he's going to come back with a vengeance. And I'm going to get you. We're just going to jump around. We are going to skip that checkpoint. That's like the only checkpoint we skip in this whole game, I think. No, I skip one more on purpose. But usually you take a checkpoint if you can, but it's so close to the end of the stage, and there's just a little bit of platform at the end of that, so then we are good. So now we're on the next boss fight. Now, this boss fight, it can be kind of trolly if I mess up this first thing. So what you have to do is you have to run into these TNT crates, and you're going to blow them up. So the first 3 we hit by just running normally. The next one, if you run, you will be too far ahead. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to slow down enough. So when I hit this box, it should kill the boss, please. Thank you. I'm going to stop running because if I were to activate that TNT crate, it would blow up right on the wall behind me and actually kill me as I transfer to the cutscene, or transfer to the end of the stage. So I've had that happen in a run before that killed a really good pace. So hands off.
Urgent memo from upstairs.
Ow-woo? Memo. Get things under control now, or we're sending in Green to finish the job. Green. How do I look?
Chill out, Romeo. If Green comes to finish the job, guess who gets all the credit, all the kudos, all the job well done?
Don't tell me. I know this one.
Green, that's who. Green, Green, Green.
Where?
Ay, ay, ay.
We got one more again.
Hey, Red, this reminds me of the time we were shooting a commercial outside that paint store, and the paint cans blew up, and we flew half a mile into a garbage truck, and the...
Yeah. Thanks for that do-si-do down memory lane.
All right, so now we're going to, it's like colored paint, I think is the name I say this here, but I've seen that. So if we can get, I've seen this in chat a little bit, give us some donations for some of your favorite Billy West voice lines. I think that would work phenomenally. I know there's a couple in there that are pretty prime, especially for this game here. But I think I've heard another donation, son. If we got another one, Robo, it's all yours.
Indeed. Mr. J, thank you very much for the $5. Just says, let's go, Rhodes.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. Jay's one of my longest members of my community. Great dude, supportive of everything I've done. I've met him back in like 2020. So great to have you here, Jay. Appreciate the love and support as always, my dude. So now this is the second time that we've got speed shoes. I'm going to be a little careful because there's some enemies that's hard to see off screen. And then you can spin into these TNT crates. So we lost that. We didn't carry it as far as we would like, but we got that done nonetheless. So this paint factory here has a cycle that I can catch. However, I already went way too slow to catch it. I think it's right coming up in a second. There should be giant canisters. However, actually before this, I'm already losing myself in where I'm at in the level. Yeah, here we go. I got to be actually on the right-hand side here, because if you jump on that straight on, you'll hit the little pieces of the wall, the pieces of the pipes here. So I actually have to wait here. There's the cans I was talking about, shooting the different colors. So I can run through once I delay there. However, you can catch a cycle where you don't actually take it out there. Now, we're going to basically walk on air, half on, half off. We get to skip all this conveyor belt here. And we're going to set it up, and we're going to do it again in this next room. I'm a little far. There we go. And if I just walk on up here, I cannot be killed by any of this paint dropping. So very well made right there. So we're going to jump to these next platforms. We're going to actually use these conveyor belts to our advantage. Wait for the paint to shoot. So I'm going to make sure I keep jumping on the directions that I'm moving forward. So again, if I get moved forward and I jump, I get shot out as far as I can. That's level 1 for there. So now we're going to level 2 of paint colors, I think is what it's called here. But it's kind of the similar essence. There's a little less conveyor belts in this stage, a lot more paint cans that you can shoot. However, just like we did before, we're going to be able to walk off to the side and basically have it be free. I say basically because in practice, I died 3 times on different runs in these sections right here that I've never died before. So you can walk on this extra platform. I don't know why it's there, and the paint cannot hit you. Apparently, I was like a pixel or something too far in, and I got hit a few times and almost took a weird jump. I'm waiting for this to shoot. I got on a slow cycle there, but it worked. So now we're going to keep walking to the left-hand side and get to another conveyor belt section here with more, not conveyor belt. I just don't know where I'm at in these stages. I'm just going to go through here. Jumping over the paint puddles. This can be a scary jump. If I jump too early, I can actually land on that nitrocate, and I can jump too late and hit that. This is where I actually took my death, so I think I'm far enough over to the side. And then we're good. Now on the conveyor belt section here, we're going to jump a few times. We're good. Whew, that was a little sketchy there. Again, momentum physics in this game, I was expecting the distance, but at the same time, I didn't think it was going to give it to me, so I kind of played that in between, which was very bad. I didn't commit one way or the other. So we're going to go on top here. We're going to jump right to the middle on this crate. This enemy is in a good spot. Usually he can be floating in the middle, so I'm glad it was there. My D-pad stopped working for about 2 seconds. Run one more set of conveyor belts, another couple jumps. These conveyor belts, weirdly enough, don't actually give you the momentum, so it's just super finicky. For what that is there. But we're done with that, and now we're moving on to the next boss fight. This boss fight has another skip. However, none of us know how it works specifically in a perfect lineup. So I'm going to give myself like 30 seconds to get it. If not, I'm going to go fight the boss normally here. So as I set up, I'll explain. So we're just going to walk past the actual boss fight. So it's similar to like the chocolate one. However, we can line ourselves up on the wall, and we can actually jump over. So I'm at 23:30. So at 23 or 24 flat, I will go over. Oh, that was close. We're trying to jump over the top. If you don't get it in the first little bit, you kind of have to reset yourself. I can be in the same spot numerous times, and it just doesn't work. About 15 more seconds here of trying this. Let's get a little bit closer to the wall here. Let's see if we can do this. Come on, yellow. You can jump over. All right, one more set. Get a little farther away this time. And I don't think it's going to work for us. That's fine. Now I actually have no idea where the boss is at right now. There it is, and I died. That's fine. We'll just add that's an extra $5, no big deal. Now we can do kind of what would be a quick cycle for this. That actually doesn't save us a ton of time, believe it or not, between doing this to fight casually. However, I just screwed that up royally here. I'm going to let this guy go by one more time and do this easy part here. So obviously we're going to jump on these platforms, let the paint come down. That should work. There we go, and that's the boss fight. So it's not a hard boss fight, but running it to the end obviously can help if you just get the jump. But hands off.
Gentlemen,
So, you here to learn a thing or two about disaster management?
where are your hard hats?
I have an unusually hard shell.
Yeah, I left my hat in the executive lounge.
While you were collecting the trash?
When I want comments from the peanut gallery, I'll fill out a purchase order.
That reminds me. Which of you ordered the inflatable power nap sofa with dual cup holders and miracle foot massage?
I would like one of
That
those.
was him.
Ugh. Margaret, cancel my other appointments. Gonna be a long one.
There we go. We'll have one more for Chocolate Factory.
Adding your performance.
Actually, I do better. I do better. Coach, who was always.
Meter's running, big fella.
Whoa!
I don't know what that was. For the record, I do have a memory card with me just in case if I've never seen it crash, but that was, I thought my disc was about to kick the bucket there. The disc is kind of old. It's discolored, so that was super weird. Now, I don't really watch the cutscenes usually, so I can't say that's happened before, but I've never seen that, but that's outside of the speedrun itself. So now we're into the Chocolate Factory. So this stage has some weird potential platforming here. So this platforming coming up on my left-hand side, if I jump on this platform, actually jump, I will jump through it and just die at the bottom. Even though there's a ground here, I will just die. So we have to walk on that platform to not face through it. Same thing with this section here. If I actually go too fast and don't hit these boxes, you will go off screen even though there's ground right here, and again, it'll kill you. So the camera doesn't pan fast enough. The game just registers like, oh, there's nothing there. You have died. Then there's these warp panels that we're on. That enemy is not usually there. Okay, we're just seeing some weird stuff. These warp panels are super finicky as well. Sometimes, like, they take a minute to actually grab, and I'll be walking on them, and it won't work. Okay, I just jumped through a platform. That's cool. I'm on a weird, I don't like that cycle there, so we're going to go take one more time around there. Because if I were to actually have jumped off, I would have went to the nitro crate. Then our last little section here, I usually have a hard hat coming through here, so I just delay myself 1 second, get a 1-up, and beat the first part of the Chocolate Factory. That was an incredibly short stage, and then now we're going into one of the longest stages of the game here. Thank you, thank you. We're just not making too bad time. I think we're like 3 deaths. I think 3 is my count. It's hard to keep count with that, not skip cutscenes and play the game. So I'm assuming I'm at 3. We'll see what happens from there. So this section here is one of the longest sections of the game without a checkpoint. And then we actually skip the checkpoint because it messes up a cycle. So the first cycle here you're going to see, no matter how fast I go, I can't actually hit this cycle on this platform you're going to see coming up just momentarily. That you didn't even see because I was too slow. There's a platform that sits there, and it will move up usually when you come on screen. You can't catch that no matter how fast you hold there. We're skipping that platform, or sorry, skipping the checkpoint because we'd have to wait for it to come back up and down. I'm actually going to use a little bit of our 3D and 2D there and jump around that platform. I ended up taking damage, but it didn't shoot me off to the side. Now, at this point, if I were to take a death, it would be a huge time loss, so fingers crossed I don't... Oh, I just spun a little early there. Weird jump. I'm going to make this jump here. Well, momentum feels a little jank right now. So it should be right up here. I jump on this platform, and there's our checkpoint. So we got to successfully skip that checkpoint there. We're going to wait for it to go down, and then we can walk off. If I were to walk off right away, again, the game would not register there's something there. So it has to delay just a second for us to realize there's a platform there. So we don't have to wait for it to go all the way to the ground. Got a decent jump. I'm going to wait. Now, if you hug the wall, you usually don't get hit by these danger crates. Nitro crates, but I decided just to be safe there instead. And now we're just going to keep on the left. Again, when I said this is one of the longest stages, it really is one of the longer stages that's not a driving level. If you thought we were done with the driving levels, you would be wrong. We have a couple more coming up, which is the best part of the game. Who does not like M&M's kart racing on the Wii? I mean, PS1 for that. But now we're going to keep coming up here. We got another checkpoint on this box. We're going to keep running. We got another small, that's not this section. We have another little small platform skip, if you will, coming up momentarily. I'm just going to get that just to be safe. Don't hit my head. Right here, I'm going to wait 1, 2, and I walk off. And it'll actually activate the teleporter. Usually when I come out of the teleporter, I'm going to hold left. Again, if I was on really hardcore like PB runs, I would just not even take that second and go back. I would definitely skip that checkpoint because the checkpoint's right here. However, again, you never know. We have to be marathon safe because I just got my helmet and instantly lost my helmet for no reason. Get up. Come on, Yellow. Get up there. What are you doing? All right. So now we hit this last, and if you see that teleporter, I was not even close to hitting the teleporter, and it just sends me here. So we have the last little bit of platforming on this stage. We're going to run down the stairs and into this hole, and we're good. So now we're moving on to the final boss of this stage. Now this is, it's hard to call these next like bosses at the end of the day. We no longer, except for the final boss, we no longer actually have to hit the enemies. So all I'm going to do is just going to run away from this guy. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It doesn't have a cutscene before it, and the cutscene, I believe, after it doesn't actually tell you anything. I believe the M&Ms are out of breath after the fact. So we're just running away. We do this 3 different times. The first 2 aren't bad. The third section can be a little challenging here. So my goal is when I get on those platforms, again, like we talked about the momentum, I'm going to jump on each of those moving platforms. So that way the momentum pushes me forward. I'm going to jump off a couple of these boxes. And again, teleporting off the ground. The yellow M&M's kind of a warlock or a witch there. They're just floating in there. So now we have some more of this platforming going here. We're going to get a couple more jumps off of these. It's too far. That's fine. We got plenty of helmets throughout the stage here. Like one that's right there, and we got it back, so we're good. The health is very, they want to jump there, very forgiving when it comes to some of these boss stages, especially this boss stage here. However, one jump, I should have made that. One jump incorrectly, I fall. I got to go back to the beginning of that part since we only hit the checkpoint there. So we got an extra element. I'm going to fall straight down and get that checkpoint again. Usually I just hold left and it gets me out there. So now we got these pushers. These pushers can push you towards me, like as the player, I get pushed outward. So if you're on these individual platforms here, so obviously I can go forward and back, even though I'm in a 2D section, which is kind of weird to think about that you can actually do that. So if I'm not directly in the middle, these platforms don't line up, and I can just walk off and die. So I'm a little actually off to the side there. So I try to line myself up with those dots on the ground. So I'm going to try not to. Okay, so here we go. So this platform here, I'll get activated like way outside of any kind of teleporter, and there we go.
For a big guy, I'm surprisingly light on my feet.
I'm impressed. I think I'll be giving you a very favorable.
Sure, go ahead and write your report. Tell them we're nothing but a couple of overpaid nincompoops.
Ixnay on the incompoop-nay.
Tell them we botched the whole thing from start to finish.
She said she was impressed.
But tell them this, and get it word for word. They can't fire me. Impressed, huh? Well, what can I say? We do our best. And wait till you hear about our incentives program. Forget
incentives.
Stock options. Snack options are where it's at.
Sometimes that candy amazes me.
Little fourth wall break there. So now we're going to move on to pack it in.
Okay, Yellow, pack it in. This is where candies get packed into bags and boxes.
I knew that. I did.
Oh, then you know that you'll be plunging through the hazardous equipment while I provide the moral support.
I knew that. I did.
All right, let's go, yeah. Let's make sure we don't have any more unfortunate areas. So packing in is not too bad of a stage. Now, we get introduced to a new enemy in this stage. So a lot of the enemies are just repetitive. You can see we have the robots. We've seen some of those like brown floating guys with spikes. In the background of that cutscene, or in the image, you actually saw a red one with black. Now, they will track you for the most part. However, some of them don't. So it's really weird because you just know where they're at. So like this one here just chills there. It doesn't ever move. But sometimes they'll be moving side to side in front of you, and I'll mention those when those come up. And those are the ones that you actually have to kind of like juke out. You have to move left and right at the same time. Well, not the same time, but okay. So this guy here just goes on his own timing here. Now, we have these platforms here. So if these platforms are moving, the direction they move is your momentum. So I'm waiting just until they go up. I could have made that other cycle there. No matter how high I am, I will get a huge jump if they're moving up. So just the start of their upward ascent, I will just go ahead and jump. So now we're going to go there. We have some conveyor belts. I'm going to try to skip these conveyor belts as much as I can on the sides here. I have to go through this one. But again, this guy just goes back and forth. And I'm going to try to jump out this box and not take damage. I've done it a few times, and I just whiffed on the jump. But that's fine because we get an M&Ms piece, not a helmet. Just kidding. I got one coming up I'm going to try to grab. I got to make sure I stay off to the right because those explosions can actually kill me there. There's our checkpoint. This guy is in a good spot. We're going to jump and get a helmet. So this guy, as you can see, he's juking me. He's going to go over here, so I got to run around him. He's just chasing me around, and I just decided to play with him too much, and I took a damage. Oh, well. But that's a few of those enemies in the stage are like that. So it's really particular to where you have to jump, but then you have enemies like that just are on a set like pattern. So I don't really know what they were trying to do. They didn't change the colors or nothing. Here's a potential death. We got over it. Let's go. So now we got one more. This is a little sketchy. I can't speak. Here we go. We're going to jump over this one. I'm going to wait just 1 second. Jump through. That momentum yanked me to the left, and we still recover. And then we have this enemy here, which has never, ever killed me until right... Just kidding. No, I didn't kill me. Let's go. Just stands there, doesn't do anything, and you just jump on top of him, or I like to spin him there, and it works. So now we move on to Pack It In 2. Kind of about the same type of stage, the same kind of enemies. It's starting to get a little bit harder on the platforming. But other than that, it's not too bad. So, Robo, if you have anything or any announcements you want to make for a minute, it's all yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have a $10 donation from Jussie, who says, what we're all thinking, this game is quality.
100%.
Yeah.
Didn't say what type of quality, but quality.
This is a game that has quality.
Yes. Yes.
It has multiple qualities and several colours. Thank you very much for the donation, Jussie.
All right, so we got that checkpoint here. I'm going to take it again. It's a tiny save. I'm going to just stop short, and I'm going to get this box for another helmet. For some reason, this jump over this next little gap here with this enemy coming up has been a little tricky. However, I think if I get hit, I'm probably dead anyways. We may have cleared it. Let's go. So now this guy goes back and forth depending on where we're at. So we're going to do a little jump around using the momentum, and we're going to get launched off this platform here. Now this black and red enemy just goes side to side on a specific pattern. I like to go left for whatever reason. It's just my natural instinct there. So I just wait for him to kind of go out of the way. And now we're going to take this conveyor belt. We're going to jump. I don't usually kill that enemy, so that works. Jump a little bit lower. Yellow, you're hitting the ceiling. And we're trying to speed up through that. Now this section here, if I were to take an intentional death, it's actually slightly, I don't know why I waited this, slightly faster because the platform's lined up. I don't usually wait this long, so I just kill myself anyways. All right, cool. So let's just go. Usually, it's been a long time since I've done that. You can just usually run and you just wait for this to jump up. And then I can make all this in one, technically like a cycle and a half. I decided to wait and waste 30 seconds for no reason, but I digress. We want more M&Ms content. Okay, we over there. Speedrun noises. We got 4. Yes, 4. Thank you. All right, so we're at our checkpoint here. This is another cycle you can't catch no matter how fast you get there. Once that comes on the screen, it just takes off. So we got here, momentum, please. I'm going to jump. If I went faster, you could jump off at its peak. But again, once it moves up, I can clear this jump here. I walk off to the left just to avoid that enemy here. And I just go on to our portal. And we beat the next stage. So now we go on to this boss. Now, if you thought this was a game so far, this boss is a boss. It's not even a boss. I don't even know. It's you just play a color matching game. So I'm on this platform here, and I go match the colors up, and that's all you do. You don't hit the enemy. It destroys itself. So, like, you're just going to play this game here. Now, interesting fact about this, there's a glitch that one of my buddies, Violin, had found. I'll talk about him in a second about how I even got to speedrun this game. But the camera just stopped following the cart, like, basically right here. The game continued to play. Yellow took off the screen with the cart, and the camera just stopped following him. I've only seen it one time. So it's never happened again in any of our runs or nothing like that, but you just died instantly, and then the game like soft locked itself because it was like, I don't know what to do. So yes, very, very well made. So as you see, I'm going to kind of go back and forth on these platforms here. I did want to like blindfold turn around for this just to make it like swagged out because it's the same thing every single time and you can count in your head. However, I was just too lazy to figure that out. Just to be honest at the end of the day here. So we're getting close. Nice ASMR music. Oh, I almost missed that. Now if you die here, you go all the way to the beginning. So that's a big time loss. But the red TNT, I believe, is the last crate. It is the last crate, and as you can see, he just jumps off and like blows. Doesn't even blow up, and that's the boss fight.
Bagged
I don't. Couldn't explain. I know that's high game tier.
What's that, little buddy? Can't hear you.
I'm stuck in a box over here.
Not copying your transmission.
I said I'm stuck in a box over here.
No, you're not.
Why do Spokes candies work in pairs? The little dough guy works alone. He's happy.
Now you're in a box.
Now I'm in a state of emotional despair. There's a difference.
Aren't we all? All right. So now we're going on to the next worst stages of the game. Oh, wait, hold on.
Need to check
Almost
you
skipped.
out one last time. Let's see how you do with the heavy equipment.
You want me to use my brain?
Oh.
Or not?
All right. So now we're on a forklift. We are on a forklift, and just like the first 3 stages of the game, we're just trying not to run into anything. None of these stages are quite long, the first 2. So I'll give a little more background of the game and just kind of even how I got into speedrunning. Because realistically, how does one ever speedrun this game or even play it really for that matter? So initially, just talking about this game technically came out in 1998 for Windows. I actually just looked it up just to verify myself here before the run. But this was a math game. This game was called, let's see if I know, Lost Formula. That's right. I remember that. I didn't look at my phone in front of me or nothing. It was called The Lost Formula. So basically, it was the exact same game, but in order to progress on certain spots, you had to like solve math problems. So it was a educational game. And then apparently Sony got its hands on it and was like, that would be good for the PS1. And here it is on the PS1. So that's kind of the issues behind that. Now, I want to give another shout out against Violin. A friend of mine I met back in 2000. So long story short, he tried to make like a little speedrunning tournament challenge for his community. And he was picking a random game a month. Like he'd go on SRC, hit randomize, whatever game that was. You just wanted to learn the speedrun in that game in a month. And then whoever participated would kind of do a race at the end of the month. And he gave like a little tiny, like, $30, $40 monetary prize, just kind of incentivize people to learn the game and all that kind of stuff there. Now, we haven't done this in a while, but this was the very first game that that got picked. So there was there's like 4 or 5 of us that actually picked up this game just to kind of give it a challenge. And the more and more I played it, we actually pushed down the record probably like 4 or 5 minutes between me and him going back and forth. And again, this game, not a ton of optimization as you can see. It's just don't die and don't die to the jank. So it's one of those just I took my eyes off for half a second game and I clipped the box. So that's what happens if you hit a box and something like that. I didn't go too far back, I don't think. That's not too bad. So that's kind of how we picking up the game. And then I haven't ran this seriously since then in a month, but definitely when marathons come up, this is such a game with such charm that everyone loves to see that you got to put it in a marathon. It's so awesome. And again, you hear the people out. It's definitely a game. I can't explain more, but it's all close to my heart. Usually speedruns that I do, and I can go into a little bit, it's that nostalgia factor. This is probably the only game I run that I have no nostalgia for because I didn't know it existed until 2020, and it was a game that came out in 2001. So I never saw this in the store. I never was like, hey, Mom, buy me M&Ms game. I don't know how you would even go about that. I am super interested to see what the price of this back in the day was. If it was a full retail game or not. But I have my case. This isn't like I bought you don't have a box of M&Ms like Chex Quest, but I mean I didn't buy candy and get a game with it. It was just, it's in an actual PS1 case, manual and all. So it's a legitimate release for the PS1 at the end of the day. But yeah, it was around that time. Obviously, like all those advert games. We were talking in this like the practice room this morning when I was doing like you have like obviously like Chex Quest and Pepsi Man. Those games have that nostalgia factor for this, and then you just come up with this load of beauty, and it just kind of is what it is. But we keep progressing through our forklift stage here. Trying to think. Oh, heck, I'll just plug myself for a second. Like at the end of the day, if you guys don't know who I am, this is my 3rd run. I'm so glad ESA's finally had me here. I am from the States. And this is the first time I've ever been out of the country, so this has been a great experience for me to get out and kind of learn about other cultures and to see other people, meet some friends that I've known in really the Sonic community. At the end of the day, I call myself a Sonic speedrunner. I had Dream Team race with HUDs back on Thursday, or not Thursday, Sunday, Monday. It's already been a long week, and we're still not done yet. And then I had a great Circus Mystery Run, a little Disney game beforehand, and then this gem. So I'm so glad ESA has allowed me to really come over and show off some stuff that I love to do. And I said finally get out and just explore different parts of the world, really, and see different things. So if you've never been to ESA or anything like that, I would highly, highly recommend it. One of the best marathons I've ever been to. Just smaller communities all get together. Everyone's super friendly. Like, this is just a fantastic time. I've had an amazing week already, and it's not over yet. And I just keep looking forward to every day meet new people and all that stuff, and just hanging out with them. It's been a blast. We're getting what feels like close to the end of the stage. We still probably have like another minute. I don't know. It's just so long for no reason. Come with there. But yeah, so I'm Sonic speedrunner. Do a lot of older Sonic games, not a lot of the newer stuff. I am going to be part of the Sonic Relay, so that's coming up. If you haven't seen or heard that, Argix and HUDs are hosting the Sonic Relay, where all of us are doing one level. 63 people are doing one level in a Sonic game. It's going to be phenomenal for that. To kind of end the marathon there. But yeah, do tons of that stuff there. And yeah, speedrun. And we speedrun this kind of stuff. I like playing bad games, so if anyone ever has any recommendation of a trash game, I will run it just for the memes, because I do like doing that stuff too. But we finally got to the end of the stage. Thank goodness we finally beat that. That's just terrible. And then now we have the final boss. So again, just like before, it's not really another boss fight. We're in a car and we're driving, and this guy, yeah, we just got to avoid him. So I'm gonna swerve a ton in this stage. My goal is to not actually die. Usually you can take an intentional death at like the 3rd or 4th checkpoint. So if you are too good, and I've done this a few times, I can run into the back of the boss and you just die. You just take a death because the boss is not meant to be hit. So I'm gonna swerve as much as I can, just to stay as far back as possible. Because if you hold straight or just don't hold anything, the boxes also get super hard to dodge, because the boxes on the left and right are on a timer, and so is the enemy when it spits out. So if I'm close, it's really hard to kind of judge. This never changes, so it's not like RNG. There's 0 RNG in this game, which is another reason I do actually like to run it. I'm not a big fan of having tons of RNG in games. If I can use my gaming prowess, then I definitely will. I'm getting a little close. This is getting a little sketchy. Please take off. You're really close. Just take off and run, please. Just go. There it is. So he's going to shoot up way up there. I'm going to dodge these last few little danger crates. And he runs into a bunch of them and just disappears. And blows up to oblivion. But that's that next boss there.
Gentlemen, it's been an education.
It has been.
Then give us our report card. F's a funny letter, huh? So F-y and F-ish.
Maybe it stands for fabulous.
Or fantastic.
Or febrifuge. That's medicine used to bring down a fever.
Look at.
Someone fetch me a febrifuge fast.
But I can promise you, F does not stand for anything. As I am a high school math teacher, I have given my fair share of Fs back in the day, and that does not stand
power
for
system for the whole M&Ms factory. Madre mia, the minis have been here too.
I can't say I'm shocked.
Oh, I think you'll find a way. Can you say, charge it?
Dang, we're definitely going okay. All right, that's that cutscene there. As anticipated, I definitely am head overestimating a little bit, but again, that adds all the cutscenes adds on. The 50-minute estimate is no cutscenes, so we'll just have a little bit of grace with that there. So we're in the last 2 platforming stages in the final boss. The difficulty ramps up a lot on these last 2 stages. So the first stage here kind of leads into the next stage. There's going to be a lot of electricity mixed in here, as you can see almost from that cutscene that we had. So we're going to jump over a bunch of these platforms here. A bunch of these enemies are sitting this throughout the stage. It just, again, the platforming just gets really, really hard. This inside part is the last time we're going to see kind of inside of the factory, because the next half of this stage, I'm just going to step right here. And then the next stage is all basically takes outside of whatever you would call this here. I don't even really know. So we actually have a floor. Enjoy the floor while it lasts, because we're no longer going to have a floor here coming up. But there's a few patterns here that when I first started running this game, you can get on not necessarily a bad cycle, but if you decide to mess up and try to go too fast, nice little jump off of that, then you actually just have like a little death warp. So this is the part I'm talking about. So I dodge one. I'm just going to be very patient and just make sure I just don't take a death, because then I go back a little bit and I just get thrown off. I could have made that. I'm going to wait right here as well. So we just don't want to we want to get on the outside without taking death, because this is the last small section here of the inside. As well as we talked about momentum, these electricity panels can hit me and shoot me straight up in the air. I'm going to risk this. Okay, made that. I'm not going to risk that. I probably would have made that. But now we have to go outside. We still not seen a checkpoint. So we've been playing for probably about 30 plus seconds and no checkpoint. So we got to pass all those electricity fields, jump off this momentum, and we're still going. Still no checkpoint in sight. We're going to run around here. And we've got one just in front of us, and that is probably one of the harder sections of the game. Well, in that section, just as long as it is. We're going to go around the electricity here, and we're going to find there's the platform, and we're going to jump up on top of all this here. We're going to hit a bouncy jump, or spring shoes, and I'm just going to just go. We're going to try to carry this all the way to this platform over here. It's not incredibly tight, but it works. Oh, nice. Okay, didn't take damage there. We get another spring shoes. Sometimes those platforms don't actually activate. Skip one jump here. We're going to use this to jump all the way, skipping another section there. Very nice. That's as long as I've ever taken that before. That's cool. I'm going to wait for that guy to get around me here. We're going to jump on this. We're going to wait for this electricity to go. I'm just going to wait because it can actually turn on and then launch you forward and die. But there it is. A deathless level there. That's what you like to see at the end. So now we have, yes, thank you. We've got one more platform level than the final boss, which is extremely, extremely short. So like I said, you like to have floor. This entire level has no floor. I mean, I guess you call it a floor, but just platforms. Minus the beginning, I lied for about 5 seconds here. Now we have no floor. Now, there's bottomless pits everywhere. I mean, everywhere, as you can see, there's just all pits. This is all platforming here. And again, you can get some super janky physics, so we're going to make sure we don't die in certain parts here to make sure we can keep the cycles ready. But I heard another donation sound, and it's only a little bit of platforming, so Robo, if you want to take over for a second.
Absolutely. So yes, Mario Kart Hero has donated $3 and saying, "This game is amazing! Why would I want to play Crash Bandicoot when I can play as the M&Ms?"
Yes, fully agree. Oh, I almost got bumped off there. Okay, we're just going to go. All right. So the platforming here, we're making some good progress. Now up here, I'm going to jump. These boxes can act funny. I can't spin that blue. That's a troll blue box, because if I just missed it. If I spin that blue box, you get blown up by the TNT crates below you, and it's your platform. So we didn't miss that. I don't really usually miss that jump. That threw me off. That's kind of how I usually set that up. So now let's try it again. I'm going to have to wait because I don't have a helmet here until right now. Okay. Let's try this one more time. 1, 2, 3, jump around. I am actually interested in why that is not working. We're going to give that one more try, and then after that, we'll see what happens. I do believe that is 6. All right, game. Please be good. At this point, the game's cooperated rather well, so the fact that I'm dying in a spot that usually never dies, I am a little intrigued here. I can always go, you know what? I've never done this path, so let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Hey, new strats, let's go. And I almost died right away after that again. So as you heard that loud noise, that was you getting hit. It's like you getting hit multiple times, but you have those iframes. If I were to jump, I would have just gotten launched somewhere, who knows where. Again, I'm gonna just wait here. I'm a little, all right. Okay, so now we're gonna jump on this box. So again, one thing with physics as well, when you jump off these platforms, if you just jump in place, you just jump straight up. Like, you don't have to move a button. I'm not holding a direction to make sure I go a certain way or hold it, whatever it is. I just straight up just jump forward and it works. So here, believe it or not, that box can actually cause me death. I can hit the, jump, there we go. Oh no, okay, whew. I almost went a little too far, getting a little too eager there. You can actually hit that power-up box, and sometimes it has the properties of a TNT crate. So who knows why? It just happens. So we're going to keep going here. Another checkpoint. That is a phenomenal checkpoint to see. We're going to hit that. That's fine. I'll take that death because I'm 2 feet away. I wanted to jump on this box to hit this. That wasn't the right box. I got a spring power-up from a red box, just so everyone knows that wasn't supposed to happen. We're going to jump on this platform here. As you can see, the physics are wonky. These platforms move in all these directions here. This checkpoint, fingers crossed, it activates. There it is. If that checkpoint can disappear like that, and it would just say checkpoint, but if it doesn't give you the sound, it doesn't actually activate, and you go back to the previous checkpoint if you die. So that is a huge one that the game allowed me to get. But we're in the last section. I believe that is the last checkpoint of the run. I hope I'm not lying. I believe that's the last checkpoint here. So we have just a little bit more of this platform. So I'm going to stop. As you can see, it's not moving. So we stop moving forward there just to hit that. I walk into that. Thank you, Momentum, for swinging me that way. I appreciate it. This has been a very unfortunate level. After we go a deathless level there, this is just killing me. So in the record one that I have, I died both times on this stage here and lost like 2.5 minutes. So that's where everything comes from. So I'm not surprised this is acting the way it is. So again, last thing, we're stopping moving to kill all momentum. So if we don't have yellow moving, then we actually don't die there. I'm supposed to do that. Then I just walk right off in this platform here, jump over the last danger crate. We go into the section here. So we have just about 10 more seconds of platform. I'm going to wait. You can jump on these electricity beams. And again, you just get launched into the ceiling and die to a death plane above you that you cannot see. So we have our last section here. I'm just going to go and see what happens. We cleared that. There's no electricity here. And we finally made it through the level with one more boss fight left. So here we go. This boss, final boss, probably one of the hardest bosses in all of gaming. And you'll have to just trust me for this. You will have to trust me here. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to walk forward. And there's the boss. There's an electricity on this platform that we need. So when the boss goes to the middle and then he slightly moves to the left, it turns off. I can jump. And then watch the lightning bolt here and not hit the boss one single time. Doesn't hit him one time. I wait, jump around, and that is time on fade outs. We do have a last cutscene. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. This is the best cutscene here. Well, best. I like those shoot, but.
Ah, the wonders of teamwork. You mess things up, I put the factory back in order, the big boss rewards us with a cruise ship vacation.
Get out of town and don't even think of coming back, was how he put it.
Details, details. Just promise me this. Next time you decide to leave a pack of tiny, hysterical snack items in charge of vital operations, run it by me first.
Well, the minis said they're really sorry. They want to make it up to us.
But of course, you told them that would not be necessary. That is what you told them, isn't it? Because as for me, I don't want to see another minis as long as I live. And I won't have to, right?
Right,
I mean,
yeah,
it's not
right,
as if
yeah.
you're running the cruise ship or anything, because that would be
Joke's on you,
terrible.
Red.
I mean, you didn't leave the minis in charge of the cruise ship. Say something, my peanutty pal. You didn't leave the minis in charge of the cruise ship. Ah! What's wrong with you? Do you consider thinking an extreme sport? Is there a brain in there with that oversized nut of yours?
The minis aren't that bad.
But yes, that is M&M's Shell Shock. There's like another voice on here there, but
When I throw you
thank you guys. Quick shout outs to some of the people in my community. Want to shout out Mr. J who donated here, Synthar, Mass Killer, Maverick Almighty, Haha, Hedgie, all those guys. I have a really small, tight-knit community for just my stream, so it's a lot of fun there. If you like what you saw, like some jank, some speedruns, come follow me over at twitch.tv/KingRhodesTN. I play a lot of Sonic stuff, so if you like that, or some bad games. But other than that, that is M&M Shell Shocked. I'm so glad I got to show off this phenomenal 10 out of 10 game. And take it over, Robo.
Thank you so much, King Rhodes. That was one of the games of all time. I hope you enjoyed that 56-minute commercial. I know I did.
Phenomenal.
It was absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, you know, obviously the sheer voice acting talents was well worth the extra donation. So thank you to everybody who donated the incentive to make that happen. Coming up next, we've got Zorch being run by Sphere. That is coming up right now. So yeah, don't go away. We're going to be just setting up, and we'll be right back.